In this video, I'm going to introduce you to the approach to transaction processing in an enterprise system. In an enterprise system, there's a difference between the approach traditionally taken versus now being taken. The traditional approach is the functional approach. The enterprise resource planning software uses a process approach. In a functional approach, there are functional departments in an organization like sales, purchasing, production, logistics, accounts. In the process, if you look at the process, then the process approach covers all these functional areas. For example, if you look at a sales order received and entered, that's been done by the sales department. Looking for a supplier and placing the purchase order to satisfy that sales order is done by the purchasing department. And producing to customer specification is done by the production department if the item is being produced in the organization. Delivering the product and invoicing the customer is done by the logistics department. And matching the sales order with customer invoice with cash received from the customer is done by the accounts department. So the activities that relates to events and transactions cut across number of functional departments. And in an enterprise approach, which follows the process approach, it covers the activities that's been undertaken by all these departments. Enterprise systems connects functional processes as we have now understood. Not only that, in the contemporary environment, the enterprise system also connects with e-business environment, electronic business environment, because many organizations conduct their activities, business activities, on the electronic environment. It connects business partners to the enterprise system. The enterprise system has ways of connecting business partners to the enterprise system through add-on software. Not only there are processes that are taking place in the enterprise systems, and there's an electronic business environment that connects various business partners. And we need to detect and manage risk of these process activities being undertaken. In an electronic business environment, most of its transactions are conducted through the internet. It is more than buying and selling goods on the internet or the electronic commerce. It involves a wide range of business processes. Now, when I say that, here are examples. It electronically processes purchase orders. It electronically invoices customers. It electronically receives payments from customers and make payments to suppliers. And it centrally controls and checks supplier through chain of process activities like purchase, production, inventory level, and distribution to customer. It also centrally controls and checks the customer relationship through a chain of process activities like collecting customer data, analyzing customer data, managing customer interaction with current and potential customers to increase customer retention. There are several functional departments that interact with a supply chain management. Now, in this example, in this illustration, I'm taking the supply chain management from the purchase to pay only. So there are functional departments that get involved in a supply chain. The purchasing, warehouse, the production, distribution, and accounts. The processes that are undertaken by each of these functional departments, purchasing is a place into order. But along with that, now that we have understood, there should be controls. There should be some way of checking out whether the purchase orders are effectively done and efficient and accurate. So there are controls being placed by the firm. For example, how is supplier selected? Then the second functional department is the warehouse. It updates the inventory reorder level. The control that is applied here is how is inventory order level being determined. So there has to be a way of determining the inventory order level. The third is the production department. It undertakes a production. And the control that is applied here, for example, would be how much waste is being generated in the production. Fourth is the distribution. The process here is delivery to customer. The control that's been applied is, for example, how is the deliverer is selected and what is the delivery speed. And fifth is the accounts department. It receives the supplier invoice and then pays the supplier. And the control that's been applied here is, has supplier invoice been checked against the purchase order. So there are functional departments here. There are supplier processes that's taking place. And along with that are the controls that are in place to ensure that these process activities are efficient, effective, and accurate. The traditional resource planning and sharing system is a decentralized system that empowers the functional departments. Each functional department, for example, says purchases, production, human resources, and accounts. Each functional department is independent with its data and decision making. But the enterprise resource planning system integrates this information into a central place, this data into a central place, and it's been shared with these functional departments so that the decentralization has now become centralized for the data collection and data repository, like a database, and then data sharing and for decision making. So the ERP software integrates data across all functional departments. Each functional area can also be linked to specialized software to obtain and maintain details. That brings us to the end of the video. Thanks for watching. I'm Professor Indra Abeysekera.